Most men who say they're bulking aren't building muscle. They're just getting softer, they're getting slower and calling it progress. They whack up their calories, they bin off the cardio, they stop tracking the data, and then they start inhaling the Domino's pizza, the Greggs sausage roll, because apparently everything now today is anabolic when you're on a bulk. And then about 6 months later, they're about 10 kilos heavier, they're looking worse, they're feeling sluggish, and then they need a 20-week cut ahead just to see if they built anything. Guys, this isn't bulking, okay? This isn't a bulk. This is losing control. And I don't even like to use the term bulking anymore. I think it's very outdated. I like to run a performance phase where the food actually increases because my performance increases. Every calorie has a job. The training is intentional. And there is a line that I refuse to cross before I tighten things back up. And I myself right now, I'm in a performance phase, okay? I'm eating a little over 3,000 plus calories and pushing the body weight up gradually and just trying to add as much tissue to the frame as possible, okay? Hear that word, tissue. Yeah, while staying as lean, as sharp as possible. I'm probably anywhere around 11% body fat right now, which is the range that you want to be in a so-called bulk, okay? Because I refuse to let the process turn sloppy. Every increase in food, it needs to improve my performance. Every kilo needs to be justified by the training. And the second the physique starts looking sloppy, we start moving in the wrong direction, we actually need to respond to it. And like I said, I don't like to call it a bulk, okay? I like to run a performance phase. But the first things first is you need to earn the right to grow. Because for myself, for my clients, before I even start increasing food, I want a clean canvas. I want a clean starting point. I want everything nice and controlled, everything in the green, the habits dialed in, the training's consistent, everything is optimized. Like, you don't enter a performance phase whilst you're already carrying that body fat, whilst you're already looking soft. Like, for the standard we're actually looking to build here, you need to actually be lean enough to have room to grow without losing the shape, without losing the definition immediately. So look at it like this, guys, okay? For instance, you don't build an extension on the house when the foundations are absolutely fucked to begin with. So get the foundations in place and get everything in the green before we start building, okay? Like, before we start laying down the bricks. Because the first thing I like to do is take my guys through what I like to call a priming phase. And this is where we get you lean enough and we just get everything optimized, our performance optimized, our energy optimized. We want to still be looking sharp. We want to be lean. We want better insulin sensitivity. We want better nutrient partitioning. So that extra food is going straight into the muscle. Okay, it's being driven into the muscle as opposed to getting stored as fat. So ideally, you honestly need to be, in an ideal world, you need to be 10% body fat, or ideally, honestly, 8 to 9%, like non-negotiable. Like, before even considering a bulk right now, which is an absolutely ranked word, I should say. And then from there, we reverse back. And then we're running a performance phase with more food. We're keeping the standards as high as possible in every area. Like, literally just a slight surplus, okay? A slight surplus. Not forcing the food down us for the sake of it, for trying to get the scales up on a weekly basis. Like, we don't want to rush it, okay? You know what they say. You've heard that line before. Don't rush the process, trust the process. And it's true. Like, even me now, guys, I've got a goal of where I want to get to with my body, and I'm just taking it day by day. I'm taking it little bits at a time. I'm in no rush, okay? Months, years, however long it takes. Like, the guys who actually win, they already know it's done. Yeah, but once we actually establish that new maintenance, once we do the reverse properly, then we can increase food by roughly 5 to 10% of our body weight when needed. Like, now, granted, it's undeniable in this performance phase, you're going to gain a little bit of body fat. Like, it's just undeniable. But I don't agree with this whole bodybuilding approach where you got to eat more. Like, no, okay? You don't want to balloon up. You don't want to look like absolute shit. You don't want to lose your jawline. Like, you actually just want to look good. Yeah, we need to just be making sure our body has enough calories to perform. Like, calories aren't calories as well. Like, all this advice that you see online, Sam Sulek, telling you if you got to eat more, you have to eat more. All of this, like, it's useless advice. Yeah, we want to be physically sharp, but we also want to be cognitively sharp. So we need to be actually getting the macros dialed in here. We need to actually be changing our body weight, our body composition at the fastest rate possible. The calorie target, that is good, guys. We need that locked in, but we need to actually be giving ourselves the right macro setup to determine how we're actually going to feel, how we're actually going to perform, how we're actually going to look in this bulking phase. I said it. I already said it, guys. I should say performance phase. Like, we want the aesthetics. We want pure aesthetics. I'm actually going to make a video a bit later on in the week breaking down how I set up my nutrition, how I set up my macros. So drop a like if you actually want to see that. But in an ideal scenario, again, in all honesty, especially in a performance phase, it's going to vary from client to client, and how active you are and how your body actually responds. But me personally, I always like to run whatever phase I'm in all honesty, unless I'm like sharpening things up. I personally like to run high protein, high carb, low fat. I think that's going to be the most optimal if you're just looking to pack on as much tissue as possible in this performance phase. Yeah, we want to keep the carbs high. And even where you're timing them meals, okay, your nutrient timing, these matters, guys, to ensure that you're not having all these 2 p.m. crashes. You're not having a blood sugar roller coaster either. Like, this is why it comes back to just getting a good meal plan in place, okay? We want it easy, we want it effective, we want it simple. You need to know what you're eating day to day, how your body is actually responding. Like, we want to just be eating good meals. We want meals that promote digestion, stable energy, and just not be constantly digesting food all day, okay? Like, we don't want to be having the fucking Greggs sausage roll at work in the bacon sarnie and just listening to some fucking dickhead on TikTok who told you it's all calories in, calories out. Like, we need to be following the 100-0 rule, okay? This is something that I like to follow. We need to actually have personal standards. So we need to be eating from whole foods at all times, even when bulking, okay? Even when bulking, 365 days of the year. Now, we may reach a point with some individuals, but again, this is more for people who struggle to put on weight, where we're driving food up, okay, in the back end of that performance phase, and you might struggle. Like, I know a lot of people don't have the biggest appetite. Me personally, I never really struggled with that. Then we can probably bring it back to higher calorie food sources, but honestly, like, still good quality. Like, if anything, I'd like to bring maybe adjust the macros, maybe bring the fats up to ensure that you're still eating from whole foods. But 1 gram of fat, it contains 9 calories, guys. So it's very easy to hit that goal in a performance phase. Because like I say, you'll be very surprised. This is one thing I will say, especially when you reverse back out and you're already lean. You'll be very surprised how much you can actually eat in that performance phase. Yeah, when you actually reverse out. And a lot of people do struggle. So I'd increase the fats. Maybe bring in some simple sugars where needed. Maybe around the workouts. Maybe liquid calories. But it's still good quality, okay? It's still better than the cereal bars and the chocolate bars, like all that wank. We don't want to be eating that, guys. We need to actually structure ourselves. We need to actually have the standards there. We need to, be eating from good quality foods that are going to help us perform at the highest level and just overall better digestion, better appetite control. Like, we just want to be looking like a movie star. We want to be looking sharp. We want to be feeling sharp. We don't want to be bloated and lethargic and half asleep after every meal and just constantly digesting. Like, we need to actually just get it dialed in. Yeah, we need to have food sources dialed in. Okay, like, none of it matters as well, guys, if your training is complete shit right now. That is one thing I will say. Like, if you're eating loads of food and you're saying you're on a bulk and you're still training like shit and you're feeling slow in the gym, that's not gonna work, is it, guys? Okay, we wanna be high energy in them sessions. And we need to be training non-negotiable, guys, 4 to 5 times a week. Yeah, we need to actually set ourselves up properly around areas that we personally need to bring up in that phase. Okay, we're looking at actually building a well-proportioned physique. We want that Greek god type physique, that movie star physique. I like to call it the lifestyle physique. Okay, we're not building a body with fucking bro splits and all these crazy rep ranges and high volume training, guys. It all needs to be optimized for you and your body. Like, we can't be following random programs here and just chasing pumps. Like, it is only going to get you so far. I used to go into the gym and hit arms every single time because it's the easiest option. But I find with people who are bulking, okay, when they say they're bulking, they slack off on the training. Big fucking mistake, okay? We need to be walking in that gym like a fucking psycho. Everything needs to be intentional. Yeah, we need to be progressively overloading, actually using that food to drive tissue up. Food is fuel, guys. Take one thing away from this video. Food is fuel. It's not comfort, okay? We just need good intensity. We need good form, guys. We need, anywhere from roughly 8 to 15 productive sets per muscle group. Again, depending on recovery and experience. None of this junk volume. That is what I'm seeing a lot of today in the gym, because you have more calories. Like, we actually want to be using that extra food to actually perform, okay? Now, also, extra food and extra time in the gym doesn't mean extra muscle. A lot of people are spending 2 hours in the gym these days. Like, all you actually need is just proper form and proper execution in their movements and proper intensity. Yeah, 45 minutes to an hour, that's all you need. You need a reason to create the body, to actually cause it to grow. Because now the biggest thing that I see, guys, as well, when people are bulking, is they start driving food up, yet they start pulling back on the cardio, okay? Like, don't become a lazy fucker when you're in a surplus. Okay, like, don't also be scared about burning muscle. Like, do you know how retarded that is, guys? Like, we still want to always keep cardio in there. We want light to moderate cardio, we want the steps nice and consistent. Steps, guys, that is one of the biggest fat burners. That is a cheat code, okay? That's what I find. And I find some of my best ideas, come from just walking. They all say, I think it was, I might be getting this wrong, guys, but Charles Dickens even said, that's where he came up with a lot of his ideas. Yeah, like, I just think walking, going on walks in nature, even on the treadmill, you could be listening to an audiobook on the treadmill, but it's just great for the mind. Yeah, it's just great for your health. Like, cardio, it's not just going to help your overall general health, but it's going to help with recovery. It's going to help with appetite. It's going to help with digestion. Just that overall, just from a physique standpoint, it's very, very important, okay? So make sure you're actually setting your cardio up properly. Again, it needs to be set up specific to the individual, whatever phase you're in, okay? Sleep, hydration, even just the rest days, they're all so key on a bulk, yeah? And just overall stress management when it actually comes to building muscle. Like, we don't want to be stressed all the time. We don't want to be high cortisol and having all these late nights and going out and necking pints and doing all this crazy shit, guys. Like, we actually just want to be building muscle, because remember, guys, muscles, they don't grow inside of the gym, they grow outside, okay? So make sure your environment is actually set up properly. Yeah, protect your sleep. Even just training windows. Again, that's something a lot of people are missing. I go to the gym every single day at 2 p.m. No matter what, I'm in the gym at 2 p.m. Set a non-negotiable time that you can go to the gym every single day and go at that time. That stops you from missing a session, okay, when things get busy. Like, because it's going to happen. If things are going to come up. So just have that slot in place. Now, the final thing, the final 5% I want to quickly cover, and I'll keep this short, guys, but is supplements, yeah, during a bulk. And honestly, in any phase. Again, it's not essential. Like I said, I've done years without having any supplements at all, and I still saw progress. Like, you can still see progress. But if you just want that edge, supplements are important, okay? Now, the first thing, creatine, okay? Obviously, from exercise performance, increased muscle strength, just overall cognitive function. I like to have 5 to 10 grams a day. I actually like to have 10 grams, me personally. Again, it's just make sure, again, you just need a simple creatine monohydrate. It's very cheap these days. And again, protein powder, if needed, if you struggle to hit your protein intake, which I find is fucking mental these days, but people still do. Yeah, like just for convenience, like if you just struggle to get in through real food. But again, when it comes to protein powders, I will say, look at the ingredients these days, okay? And ideally hydrolyzed. Yeah, I like to take hydrolyzed whey. I find that digests a lot better for me because I used to struggle with digesting, you know, the normal protein powders. It's just quicker digestion. And also caffeine, guys. Like caffeine is fucking elite when it's used intentionally. And I just want to quickly list, obviously, a couple more. You know, omega-3, vitamin D3. Again, if you don't get much sunlight right now. And obviously magnesium and ashwagandha before I go to bed. Yeah, just overall benefits for your sleep. But again, none of it's essential. Yeah, supplements are great when you actually have the basics locked in. Like creatine, it cannot save you from a shit program and a shitty Tesco meal deal and getting no sleep, okay? Like when it comes to bulking, far too many people, they just go for all this shiny object syndrome. They go for what's popping on TikTok these days. Like just get the basics locked in, get the training locked in, get the cardio locked in, get the sleep locked in, get your nutrition locked in. That is the biggest thing that's gonna determine how you actually change in this bulking phase, how you actually build in muscle in this bulking phase. Don't worry too much about creatine and protein powders and all these shitty supplements that you see online these days. Just get the basics locked in. And far too many people, I actually want to go the other way as well. When it comes to bulking, far too many people fear the scale. Yeah, people are scared initially, especially you'll understand this if you've got super lean before. They're scared about weight gain. Okay, they're scared about the scale increasing. But the reality is you need the scale to actually move up, to actually see a difference in your body. If you actually want to build your body up, if you actually want to build muscle, like we can't just be working around staying fucking dick skin shredded year round. We need to actually fill out. We want to look good. We want to look like the most capable individual. So that's why I come back to just getting as lean as possible from the get-go, from the start, because when you're too fat to begin with, it's going to be very demotivating when you're looking in the mirror and you're just packing fat on top of fat, okay? We want to get as lean as possible. Like the way I see it, that's the way I see it, guys. Okay, like fat loss, it doesn't happen by chance, guys, okay? Like it's inevitable. You're going to gain a little bit of fat during this bulking phase, but just keep it minimal. Keep it nice and controlled. Yeah, just monitor the scale on a weekly basis. We don't need to be having all these emotional reactions to the trend. Just track the trend over a weekly basis. Track the progress photos, okay? That's something that I wish I'd done a couple years ago when I started. You know, I don't really have that many horrendous photos when I was a little fat boy, but we want to be focusing mainly on gym performance and just energy and just a slow and controlled rate of gain, okay? Ideally a KPI of anywhere around 0.2 to 0.3 a week. Yeah, at the high end, maybe 0.5 a week, 5 grams a week, you know, depending kg a week, you know, depending on the individual and the experience. Like, but, you know, people are just somehow thinking 1 kg a week and they're gaining 1 kg of muscle a week. That's not the case, guys. Yeah, we want to take it nice and slow. And that compounded over time, trust me, you will just end up looking like a different person. Yeah, that's the way I see it, guys. Like, there's no deadline. Just keep going, enjoy it, enjoy the process, enjoy growing, and just enjoy bulking and just take it nice and slow. At the end of the day, the long game is the short game. But I hope you took a lot of value from this video, guys. Like I say, it was a bit of a messy one. But I just wanted to comment here because I feel like a lot of people struggle with bulking these days and they don't really know where to go with it and where to start, or, you know, if they're moving in the right direction. Just trust the process, guys. But like I say, I hope you took some value. If you have any questions, you can shoot me a message over on my Insta, Charlie Crawley Fit. Again, there's going to be a lot more videos coming. But yeah, guys, let's go.